Good morning to 161, day 161. Okay, we've got shed loads on again today. Finishing off some steps. Beam is painted. Boxing is going on, as you can see in the background. The roof. The roof is the most important thing today, as is the roof in here as well. So we have a team of carpenters working in here on the roof, and we have a team of carpenters in here working on the roof. They're the two major things we're working on. We've obviously been working on the garage wall as well, which will be blocked up today. We have 2 loads. Again, anybody in Barbados, a load is 300 blocks, as I've learnt. So we have 2 loads of blocks being delivered this morning. That means they should have enough blocks to do the garage wall and the manholes as well. So we've got manholes at the front, obviously need to be blocked up today, so that's another thing we need to do. So that was my wife calling. Anyway, don't know where I was. Manholes, I think I was at. So yeah, 2 manholes, 1 grease trap. They've all got to be concreted today, and then hopefully in a couple of hours we can then block up on those as well to height. And then I need Mr. Plumber to come out and help us set the levels and obviously run in the actual main drainage and grease trap piping obviously all the way down to the main side, and that's then pretty much the sewage all connected up and ready to go. So what else we've got to do today? There are a few block areas on the house that still need to be taken to height, but I'm pretty sure they're now on the outskirts. So the hallway can now be taken right through to the end. We need to obviously get the roof on the bathroom as well sorted, but that's not essential at the moment. That's not main house, but it is obviously access from the main house. We do need to do that. So it really is obviously all of the formwork inside and outside of the house. And the roof, and I need to get the rebar guys on the main roof at the back, so front of on the roadside, because they've obviously still got to finish off the rebar on that, and they've also got to smock it up in the air and get that finished off. So I want that done so they can physically concentrate on that front half, and once this is done, this half as well. So they're going to be the main concentrations today. Beckles will carry on getting that set out and get all the steps built for the pour there, and the hope is that Monday/Tuesday next week we'll pour the main house roof first, we'll pour the annex roof second, and I'm hoping to get enough concrete to pour the steps third. They've not quoted for those because I wasn't actually anticipating getting those done yet, but they're here and we might as well get them done. So it's a hell of a lot of concrete, so we definitely need the lorry to do that rather than doing it manually, that's for sure. So anyway, that's what we are so far. I'll update throughout the day. Other than that, the place is looking a little bit tidier and we're a little bit more focused, so fingers crossed today will be a good day. 10:30, quick update, good morning. Hi buddy. Okay, so inner boxing going on up. Inside boxing pretty much done. Got the inner boxing done. Separate team are working on the back over the road. So internal boxing's pretty much gone up already. They got a bit more of a technical situation because they've got a hole for the water tank, so they've got to actually put some joists across and propped up to prop up on that to go even higher. So they're going to do that. We've got 8x3s coming. Over here, the steps are being built nicely. So all the actual boxing has been made already. The ramps themselves are being finished off. And then the risers actually be put in afterwards. Front's all been obviously sealed with wetcrete. We're doing the smocks upstairs. Making sure the actual rebar itself on the floor is actually off the floor by minimum 2 inches. That will give us a 3 to 4 inch coverage. And then out here, that's straight. So we're actually starting the manholes down here as well. So obviously start beams coming out, concrete being poured. Where's all the tunes then? Where's the tunes? Mason's on site. A bit more clear in here as well. a little bit of maintenance, not major, they don't like that. So we've got the struts in there need to be taken out as well because they're in the middle of the way and they need to be moved. All of these need to be then tightened. So they've got lines pulled across the ceilings to make sure that there's no sag. So all of these stilts need to be straightened up and tightened up. And then at the same time, the laborious task we have is obviously going upstairs, clearing upstairs and retaping the joints, because as and when we pour, we are going to have to make sure that nothing leaks through down to here, which it will do, especially if we go ahead with the 11mm gap we got there for some unknown reason. But anyway, we'll have to sort that out. Obviously front beams have been sorted out. This still needs to be boxed up because that's going to be poured. They'll also do the outside 4-foot boxing. They're all done. Again, in an ideal world, we need to finish what we're dealing with here and move the scaffolding down the side in order to do that. So yeah, still plenty to do, but obviously the main infrastructure is really supporting the walls to ensure that when the struts go across, the 20-foot struts, they go straight over. So we're getting close. Guys out there doing the smocks. Labourers sweeping off the side, which is bloody annoying. Yeah, so a little bit of carnage, but a little bit of movement. So give you an update more towards lunch. 3:10. 3:10 and a beautiful afternoon. The sun is absolutely killing out there. Rick, how are you? Good, good. Beckle's out there on there looking busy. All right, Bex? Beckle's out there looking busy. Everyone looking busy. Okay, start at the front. What we got so far? Love that Hilti, don't you? Garage wall being built. We got Pedro on the Hilti. Loves a bit of Hilti. Every time the Hilti's needed, he gets called out. We got the boys down the front. First one being blocked up. Bases have been concreted. Bristol on the blocks. Labourers out there being busy too, which is good. Mason's out there benching at the back. So we got the Indian. He loves a good shout. Okay, so we got Mason man benching. We got the sides now busted out, so we can bench inside there as well, which is good. Get the other one benched down there as well. We didn't go too hard on that one. Tyson looking busy. And then we got massive changes in here. Hey, wee! So we got these boys are flying across here, which is good. Here we are flying. It's amazing what they do for £4 grand. We got Anthony back in the house. What else we got? We got the Labour boys up there doing the smocking. How's it going? Good. Got the smocks going upstairs, which is good. New carpenter. What's your name? Hey? What's your name? Richie. Yeah. Richie in the house. New Richie. So we're looking a lot better. Great news, great news. And then over here we've got separate set of team working in here. So far 4x2s are in, FORMWORK's in. It's looking dark inside, which means they're actually getting some ply sheets on there as well. So yes, we are looking like we're motoring along, which is great news. So this is going to be a big beam coming out here going that way as well for the roof, which will sit on there somewhere. Let's get this all swept up. And we've also got to get the floor put in here. And the downside, the boys here are going to struggle to get that roof supported until they can actually get the floor in here. So a couple of the actual joists put through here. We've got 8x3s coming that are 18 foot long. So there'll be 8x3s across the wall, 8x3s across that wall, this wall, and this wall. And then they're going to go that way because in here we actually have drainage running down the side. So all the planks have to go this way. So they'll be 24-inch centered all the way along here. But initially what they'll do is they'll put 4 across there so they can use those for support. So Acra underneath and then Acra above to try and support the roof. So they're going to have to do that in order to support the roof properly. But obviously, as you can see, they're going across with the planks already. And fingers crossed any minute now, we're going to be getting some wood turning up so they can actually crack on with that. We've got another 70 2x4s coming. And we've got 15 8x3s coming. What else? We've got these steps that are pretty much near undone. So in here, they've been putting acros underneath to hold all this up. This will all be set out with these. It'll be poured with concrete, obviously, next week at some stage. And once it's gone off, somehow, Beckles will find a way of smashing through the side, going in, potentially leaving a door on there, because you can still use it for storage and taking the acros out once it's done. Benching, if you guys don't know, benching is where they mould all of the channels that all the water and sewage needs to flow through, and then they tank the inside with a waterproof cement. So they stop the water coming in, and they also stop the water going out. And at the same time, the benching is where they mould where the water's coming in and how it's got to flow. So this one here, you're going to have 3 in that one. This one's got 2. This one's got 1 coming this way, 1 going that way. This one over here's got quite a few. This one's just got it's got the grease trap coming in, the grease trap coming that way, so it's a bit different. But obviously some of them have had to take the sides out so they can actually get down to do it. So another very premature thing that the builder did, rushing the manhole to height. Can't take it to height. Because once you've done what you need to do, the guys have got to get down there and actually bench, which is technically a posh word for sticking some waterproof plaster in there and moulding some gullies. They've got to get in there to do it, so they've got to be able to reach, and your arm is only a certain length. So they normally do it 3 to 4 block high maximum, and then they bench out, and then they go up to the height that's needed afterwards. But the builder wanted to try and get everything to height so they can actually backfill as soon as possible, and that's actually cost probably nearly 4 weeks worth of extra work. So disastrous. But anyway, looking good up here, obviously. Once they actually got these are in, then they'll actually build the other way supports. So at the moment we're going this way, then we're going to have to do 4 double lengths going through here. So 2x4 bolted together, 20 foot long, 4 of those through here, and they'll be acroed up, and there'll be 4 of those along this way. So 4 doubles, 80 foot long. And then once they're in and the acros are in, then they can start putting the boarding on top. I mean, yeah, that's probably the best way to do it. But anyway, so these guys are going to check how they're getting on with the smocking up there. So they've got a lot of smock to put in. That's an 80 foot by 20 foot ceiling, and again we're going to be doing the same thing here. And obviously Anthony is taking the centre column to height, because again that will support not only the roof, but it's also going to support the beam that's going to go above that, will come out the ceiling. So that's going to be the next stage. 52 pick up with the screws. Don't want to be doing that. Other than that, that is it so far. So good afternoon so far. It's 3:15. Still got another hour and a bit left. The carpenters will obviously go on longer because they're on price. It's a good thing about these guys here are on price. The guys over the road are on price as well. So you do get a bit of a how good are you versus how good are we type scenario going on. So there's a team of 2 in here with a labourer, and there's a team of 4. Sorry, team of 4 with a labourer. So this is twice the size. So you do get a little bit of a manhood measuring contest, which is always good for the person as long as the quality stays there. So yeah, where you can in Barbados, price work, 100%. They act completely different and they perform completely different. So you pay more, but you get things done a lot better and a lot more seriously done. So I will certainly do that on every element I can moving forward. I've got the internal fit out to be done, so I've got all of this here's got to be done next. They've been doing that over the road. All the plasterboarding in here and the walls here and next door's got to be done. I'm pricing all of that. I've got the kitchen to be fitted. I'm pricing that. I've got bathrooms to be fitted. I'm pricing that. Anything I need done and need done quick, I'm putting on a price. Windows and doors, I've got them. They need fitting. I'm pricing that. With swimming pool, I'm going to get that priced. Anything I need to have done and done quickly and good, I'm going to get done on a price. So I would suggest you do the same if you consider doing it here, that's for sure. Other than that, another hour or 2 left of the day, so we'll see how it pans out. So I thought I'd just show one of the actual benching jobs from our lovely artiste. Let me show you. Mason Artistic. So outside's now been finished off. This well is at height. Look at that beautiful specimen. So as you can see, they nurture where they want the sewage or where they want the water to go. Beautiful job, beautiful job. So we're going to have to do the same in the ones down here as well. That one has had something done in it anyway, so we'll have a look at that one later. And they're now starting on the ones over here as well. And with regards to the septic, we've now got the actual heights where they need to be. They need to be screwed. I'm not sure if they've been done yet, but they need to be screwed together. I can see screws hanging out. So there's black screws hanging out the side. I wouldn't have used those screws. I used stainless. This pipe itself is going to come into here. This has to be dug right down until you hit the actual the sucking power of the water. So we're going to have to get the excavator out next and dig a hole here, shutter that out, concrete that into a hole, and then this will actually be extended into here. So that will be the next thing to be done to finish this off. But I'm not seeing any water. And they are looking pretty straight, which is absolutely awesome. Still loads to be finished off, but the masons are here obviously doing the rest. The side here has been broken out, so that will be done next. Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
That one's been broken out as well. Yeah, I saw it. And this one here has got to be done as well. But this one, we didn't take this one to height, so all we've got to do now is remove the shuttering inside here. And then because we haven't gone up the height it needs to be, we don't have to break everything out, which is good, which is what should have been done in the first place. With this one, obviously, what we might have to do is put 45s on here to try and get the water aiming straight down to the floor. Because we've got the height of the building coming over here, but we've also got the height of the building down here, driving the depth here. Well, obviously, we've got big differences. So as you can see, we've got a pipe down on the floor, and we've got a pipe up in the air. So normally, the pipes come in very similar in height, but you have no choice but to go high here and low here because obviously this is the front of the house. So we've got 45s on here and then smooth it all down and round, smooth this around, then we should be able to stop whatever's going to be coming here hitting the wall this side and keep that flow going. Fingers crossed, all the work we put into this, we're going to get flow, because I tell you what, if we don't, after we've been through what we've been through, I'll probably bury myself in there with the rest of it before we backfill because I'm done. But anyway, septic saga, Miss Jones. Hopefully nearly done. So there's a little bit of a heated tension going on today. I think it's because people are actually working well. They're not used to working hard, as in, I don't mean that rude, as in when there's price work and guys going, I need. When it's on a day rate, it's a lot more slower paced and a lot more, let's get this done when we can. When there's price work going on, everybody's quite pushy and it pushes people along a little bit harder, and it does unfortunately cause a few strains. But at the same time, you achieve so much more. So at the end of the day, you're a little bit more tired, but you do celebrate at the end of the day because you achieve so much more. So fingers crossed, it could be the new beginning for these guys. You never know. But anyway, let's see how the rest of the day goes. The tensions carry on. So we got a wood delivery. These are the 8x3s that I've ordered in, pressure treated for the actual the base of the floor where the water tanks are going to go. If these bow in any way, shape or form, I give up. So there's quite a few of them coming in. There's 15 of those, and we've got 70 pressure treated 2x4s, all 20 feet. So yeah, fingers crossed, they should do the job. Get this all lumbered up here. Hopefully that's going to be a lot of weight down there. Fingers crossed, all good. Okay, so 5 o'clock. Most guys are shot off, but obviously the price work boys are still here. Okay, so we have the unit over there now. It's pretty much coming through. They've got the wood for the floor now in here, so obviously they've been waiting for that to come. So we've actually got the 3x8s here. What we'll have to do in there, like I said, is obviously go around the outside and just literally measure out, coming lengthways. We'll have to put probably 4 lengths in, support those underneath with tall acros, and then get above those acros straight to the ceiling, and that's what they'll do that with. And hopefully if they plumb it right, then they should land up becoming the 4 straights that are going to be needed for the floor eventually anyway. So if we can get that in right, then we won't have to rip it out and do it again. These boys are now flying through as well. So the whole thing is 2x4 all the way through, as you can see. So, as you can see, so we're obviously all the formwork is around the inside. The 2x4s all the way through the middle, and now they're starting to put the plywood down. Now, one downside is the plywood that was provided by the contractor is the orange. So just to let everyone know, the difference between orange and red, apparently orange is standard cheap. I think it's about 100 a sheet. And then you have the red, which just, I assume it's pressure treated because it just doesn't actually absorb the water. So here's one sheet for argument's sake that's been out. I would say it's probably been out for about 10 days, 12 days now with a bit of rain. Look. Yeah, it looks like a granny's arse. So if that's going to go up now and have concrete poured on it, then obviously it does the same sort of thing here. So it gives you that sort of effect, which obviously you don't really want. So that now can't be used. And it was all like this. All nice. And with a bit of rain, lands up turning into that. So we're now going to be pouring the roof on Wednesday. That's the date that the concrete company have given us. So this is now going to be out for the best part of 6 days. So fingers crossed there's no bloody rain. Otherwise it turns into that. At the moment it's going up looking like this, which is beautiful. Whether it's going to stay like that is a different matter. So I ordered 50 sheets a couple of days ago. They've been delivered as well, and I'm not too sure whether they've given me red or orange. I'm hoping for the bloody life of me that it's red, because obviously you can resell it as well once you've used it. As long as it's in good condition, then you can resell it. So all of this wood that's here, the stuff that I'm ordering, is all pressure treated. So as and when I finish with this, there's another 70 links there that's all 20 foot. It's all pressure treated. Once it's finished with, then I'll be selling it second hand. So I'm paying 50 to 55 a length. Someone could be inheriting stuff at 30 to 40 a length. So same with the actual, the formwork itself, the ply sheets. It's all the same. So if I can try and get decent ply, then I can resell the decent ply. But anyway, this is obviously the staircase. So that's now pretty much done. They've got to now install the actual steps themselves, and then they'll put 4x2 2x4 as they call it here, from here over to the other side, tie them in, make sure they're nice and straight, and then we're going to get that poured at the same time. So on Wednesday we're pouring that roof, we're pouring those steps, and we're pouring that monster. So that should look good. So I'm going to go up on the roof now and show you what the guys have been doing up there as well. The guys have actually been doing all the smocks. Nice, so they've been doing that today. The mason obviously has taken that to height as well, which I showed you earlier on, so that's all done as well. So let's get up here and have a quick look whilst we're up on the roof. Bear with me. So again, now up on the roof, the guys have been up here today just smocking and retying everything together. So you can start seeing the enormity of it. So I'm going to try and get over to one corner, like I was before. Quite a bit of movement there, so I need to finish that off. So that's what the roof's going to look like. It's going to be big. And the guys have got to do the actual the front overhang as well, which is going to be 5.5 feet. So this is what the roof's looking like now. Though. She's a monster. So they've not finished the smocking completely, but it's starting more stable up here where they were spending more time. So it's trying to have a balancing act of making sure we've got enough smocks itself without going too crazy. 1, because of weight, 2, because of time, 3, because we don't actually have loads of smocks made up. The smocks themselves obviously are something we have to manually make. So, but we're pretty much we're done in most of this area. One thing we did notice today. We haven't got to the bottom of it yet, but in order to get the smocks up here, we are technically pulling the beam away. So you can see the smock down there. We're 2-inch smocks down the bottom, but we're now 2 inches away from that 2-inch smock. So something's gone wrong. Either the beams haven't been made wide enough, long enough, or the formwork's been put up too high. But the formwork is now exactly the same on that side as it is this side. So I can only assume that the roof is absolutely spot on. The duct tape is not adhering to here very well, that's for sure, so we need to be careful about how much we go putting out until we need to get the ground completely dry first. I mean, over in this corner here, to give you an example, I don't know if you can see it, around here somewhere, I mean, there you go. mean, look at the size of the gap. The gap in here is just absolutely monstrous. So number one, it's not fixed properly, so that's got to be fixed. And two, look at the size of the gap. It's massive. So if we pour concrete on here without taping that up, that will just pour straight through onto the floor downstairs. So essential that we get that done. I mean, things like this is new ply in here, so we need to get this taped up sooner rather than later. And that's something I'm going to do first thing tomorrow, because it's all going to need to be taped anyway, to stop anything coming through. If you don't do it, as I say, it just pours through, so it's just going to cause us nothing but headache. But again, gaps here, like massive gaps. As soon as you pour, it will just pour through. So in their defence, a lot of the actual formwork we've been using is obviously what was in the basement, so it's not great formwork. But we need to make sure there's a clean surface on there. We've got a good duct tape bond on there. But again, before they did that, they should have literally scraped the actual the surface, and tried to make sure that even if they had to double up the tape itself, all of the tape itself has just got no stick to it at all. So all they've done is just, it's not going to stick at all. So probably going to have to redo all of that. Before we do it though, we'll get it brushed out, get it blown through. Don't want any garbage up here, that's for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much where we are so far. So the guys obviously are trying to continue on with their formwork and their ply laying this evening. They're on price, they're incentivised to stay late and get things done, which is exactly how it should be. Again, I'm looking at gaps over there. I need to get those gaps closed. Everything needs to be closed. What we don't want is concrete pouring through, because obviously this is going to be coming straight into the main house, and the main house is a polished floor. So we've got to make sure that we get the plywood as tight as we physically can to ensure that there's no leaks. And the other guys have got to get over here and actually get the hallway finished off as well. The hallway was not able to be complete because at the time the beam had not been put in, and the walls went up to height. So now we've got the walls at height and the beams put in. The rebar guys are going to finish off the end over here. On the camera I'm looking different. So yeah, just get the beam finished from here to here, and then they can pretty much go straight across. In all fairness, they're ready to go straight across anyway, but obviously out of courtesy they're just saying to the rebar guys, get your bit done first and we'll go next. So that's ready to be done. But again, look, this ply was brand new up here, and again it's starting to bubble. So it's just not ideal. So we need to get that done sooner before it starts raining even more again. So, but yeah, so they'll start getting across. And as you can see over the other side, got the same thing going over there as well. Look, so the roof's going up over there. They're flying for over the road. There's these boys as well. So yeah, that's it for another day. So I'll check in tomorrow.